Greetings all. My name is Jason Colyer, Support Operations Manager here today. We are going to go over like a practical use of our change management process, and we're going to do it through a request that's actually come in so that we can see it kind of live in action. So let me share my screen and we'll kind of get started with this. All right, so here's the request. It is a view change request. In this case, it is creating a view. And the basic request here is that they want a needs collaboration view. Greg kind of gave us some definitions on this. So what we're going to want to do as a starting point is just kind of review the issue, make sure there's no potential issues with this, include any and all with needs collaboration labels sorted by NRT breach. That'll be SLA breach. Capture tickets where the assignee requested help by adding the label. Yeah, so that makes sense to me. I do see that like one issue I see is this is going to show every pending ticket, but that seems to kind of be the idea, is that it would show even when pending. So we'll go ahead and just kind of go with what is shown, what kind of has been requested here, and we'll go from there. So let's open up our sandbox because that's where we'll start all our change management stuff. And log in like I should have before I started recording. All right, cool. So what we'll go ahead and do is let's create this view in the sandbox. We're going to add a view. Needs collaboration. What we're going to do here is grab the issue link for our description just so it's there. See, he didn't specify who exactly should be seeing this. I feel like this is probably just a support specific thing. So let's actually do the groups. We'll do AMER, APAC, and EMEA. So one of the conditions here is the tags contains at least one of the following: needs collaboration. We were looking at status being less than solved. And yeah, that was pretty much all we need for conditions. If we preview, we got no matches because there's no tickets with that label right now, which makes sense. All right, so column wise, I always clear out the columns that are there because it's kind of annoying. And the columns he had indicated was SLA breach, priority, subject. So next, SLA breach, priority, subject. It also looks like he wanted assignee, requester, organization. Assignee, requester, organization, and the last one, which I can't quite remember, was right, request date. All right, so request. Helps if I spell request right, which apparently I can't. There we go. He's wanting it sorted by, grouped by status. That's fine when there's not a lot of tickets, but when there is a lot of tickets in this view, potentially it's going to be problematic. He says ascending, which means it'll put new first and then on hold last, since we're not showing closed or solved, and then order by next SLA breach, which makes sense. And I believe we want that ascending, descending. I always get those mixed up. All right, so go ahead and save this. He didn't really specify where this would be positioning wise, but that's fine. If I go over here, I can now see it, but we don't have any tickets, so it's kind of a useless metric right now. So let's go ahead and create a ticket. Actually, I can just grab one of our existing tickets. So here's one for who stole my cheese. And we're just going to go ahead and add the needs collaboration tag. So if we go back to our view, we should see it now. Cool. Now, because we're showing multiple statuses, we should grab a couple different ones. So let's, guessing I don't have any. I'm guessing I don't have any actual like new one. So we'll have to end up making that, but let's just make a couple tickets. So tickets, new test, new tickets. I'm just going to use gold test. And I'm going to leave a lot of this blank like I shouldn't, but that's fine. We're just testing here. Okay, so let's go ahead and add another ticket. We'll make this one set to pending. We'll also use gold test. So handover, new test, pending. And I bet none of that's going to work if I don't add that needs collaboration. There it is, needs collaboration. There we go. There's the new ticket. Let's go make sure we add it there as well. Okay, so we've got a couple different tickets. Let's go back here and make sure all three are showing. Cool, and we can see how new open pending. Let's go ahead and make one for on hold just to test that as well. Test on hold. This time we'll add the correct tag at the beginning to put that on hold. And for sake of testing, let's also go ahead and make one that's solved, but this shouldn't show, but that's kind of what we're testing here. Test solved. All right, tags. And solved. Okay, so we now have tickets for each of the states. Mine is closed. All right, so if I look, I'm not seeing the solved ticket. That's good. That's what we expect. We see that it's showing regardless of assignee because the on hold got assigned to me. So it looks like we're in a pretty good testing place. Obviously, none of the SLAs are showing because I created the ticket, so an agent has replied on all of these. But this looks like a good place as a good test to do here. Let's go ahead and go to my profile real quick. I'm actually going to make my defaults a mayor. And let's get rid of 2 of these groups real quick. I'm doing that so I can see what this looks like to an SE. Okay, so to an SE and no pods or any of that stuff, this is kind of what they would see. I believe, let's see here. So I know Greg's got an MR tied to this for the actual workflow. All right, cool. So here's the workflow. And the reason I want to look at this real quick is just to see how the needs collaboration, needs collaboration view, the handover view, whatever, how it correlates to the actual workflows. So let's go down here. And might actually help just to see exactly what Greg has changed here because the mermaid chart may not be updated. It is not. Okay. So review the needs collaborations index queue. Okay, so it doesn't look like this is like a core part of their workflows. So it's okay for the view to be towards the bottom there. The problem is if this is always supposed to show, we want to make sure that it is in a position so that it will always show. And like with this situation, if I was in a bunch of pods, this view would be pushed all the way to the bottom. We wouldn't see it. So it's not quite what we would want. So what we're going to do here is reorder the page. Let's go to this needs collaboration. And what I'm going to do is just move it above all the pod ones, right below free users, since these will always show to somebody. And save. Let's go back here and refresh. Okay, so it's still in the same place. Let's make sure it works for managers, ops. Will put me back in the default ops group. That way we can make sure this looks right for other teams as well. All right, so that looks right for the other teams as well. It will always be showing. Obviously, if you're not in the AMER, EMEA, or APAC support group, you won't see it, but this looks correct based on the parameters that we've been given. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is let's grab that view link. That way we can easily access that in the future. Go back here to the actual thing. View created in Sandbox. Okay, and what we're going to do is grab a screenshot of this to show what it looks like. Okay, and real quick, do a preview, make sure it's looking right. Cool. Okay, so I've detailed the link to the view and I've shown a screenshot of it, but I need to detail the testing I've done. So you make this comment, testing done, created new ticket with collaboration tag present, results ticket. I'm going to copy this because this is basically the criteria for all our testing. Created pending, created open, created on hold. Okay, and then we're here. This is created solve ticket with ticket did not show. I said results here, but expected results is what I actually meant to say. So put that there just so nice and detailed. And I'm going to do status passed. You can kind of use whatever wording you want to indicate that passed. All right, and then we want to be super thorough. So let's grab each of these ticket links just so we can link directly to them in the issue. So new ticket, so we'll link to that one. Go back here, let's grab the open ticket. We'll link to that one. Let's grab that pending ticket. We'll link to that as well. And finally, well, not finally, we got to go find that solve ticket. Grab the on hold one, that. And then the easiest way to find that solve ticket is just go to the user and click it. There we go. And I called all these handover for some reason, and I don't know why I did that. It's bad naming. So I will fix that in a second. All right, so I'll go ahead and mark these off. And let's go ahead and edit these to needs collaboration. I'm going to rename this ticket anyway. And there we go, all fixed up. Now they reflect the correct name. So once again, let's take a screenshot. Now that they have the corrected names, I'm actually going to submit that. I'm going to get rid of this old one because it's inaccurate. Put the new one there. Okay. So what we've now done is we've got it in the sandbox. We've tested it out. It looks like it's going to work correctly. But some notes we need to make is we had to make a couple assumptions, like the positioning of the view. So that's something we're going to want to mention here. So we're going to, the DRI on this one is Greg. So we're going to do Greg. Changes live in Sandbox and testing was successful. I'll go ahead and link this, although it's probably not necessary. Always visible regardless of pod group, etc. As such, it's below the users view. If this is accurate, please let us know. All right, so we'll label it. I am currently working this, so we're doing it. As of this time, we've spent about 20 minutes, so we're going to add the spend 20 minutes. And yeah, that should be all that's needed at this juncture. Now, we could say that we can move it over to support ops blocked if we so wanted, because we are technically waiting on Greg to review and come back to us. But I tend to use the block label for stuff like there's zero way we can move forward at this juncture. At this juncture, Greg could say, I trust you or whatever, it's fine. So we are blocked, but not blocked in like the sense of there's no way we're moving forward until future notice. So basically what we've got here is from the change implement. Let's go ahead and open that real quick. We'll do the training for views. So what we've done here is basically we've got our, we'll put it down here. We got our request stage that's been done. We made sure the labels were correct. We've just done the testing sessions. And we're not at repo stage yet because we have to, we need Greg, the requester, to review our changes and make sure everything's in a good place. So at this point, apologize for that. So at this point, we're basically waiting on Greg to come back to us, and then we can go to the next stage, which will be the repo stage. Once Greg comes back, everything looks good. I'll have another Zoom session that we'll record, and we'll kind of go to the next step. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now in change management. Yes, it's a little more verbose than the kind of older way of just like, I've done testing, but at the same time, like Dan, you're here in this meeting, you could come into this issue and you don't have to guess what testing I did. Everybody's calling us today, apparently.
Yeah.
But like at this, like the way we're doing it now, this new kind of change management way, the benefit of this is, if you came into this issue, like you suddenly needed to, start help working it or whatever, you don't have to guess on where we're at. You don't have to guess what testing we're done, what's been done. You can also look at the testing and maybe go, hey, I noticed you didn't test this. I think we should test that. I went ahead and tested it, blah, 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 blah. Whereas before, when I was just like, yep, all tests are successful. You have no idea what tests I've done because I'm being vague. I'm not being transparent. So this is kind of the new way we want to do stuff. Like I said, once Greg gets back to us, I'll do another Zoom recorded session and we'll continue on to the next steps, which will either be more testing if something's off with what Greg sees, or we'll go to repo and pre-implementation stage and deciding when this will be implemented. Cool. But any questions, any thoughts, any comments?
No.
Awesome. Cool. Well, go ahead and stop the recording, but hope you found it educational.